Today I'll be predicting the Oregon Ducks football schedule. First, I want to explain what I think about their offense and defense. First, they have Dante Moore at quarterback. He is a very solid quarterback. He should have really went to the NFL draft this year, but with that new NIL money that he's getting, he doesn't need that because he's probably making millions of dollars from contracts from Nike, from Phil Knight, the guy that basically owns the Oregon Ducks, and he's a baller. He just needs to solve one little thing. He turns over the ball a lot against Indiana. He had a fumble against Indiana. He had a pick six the first play of the game against Indiana in the semifinals. He needs to solve those few things, and if he does, he might be a Heisman finalist for the 2026-2027 season. They also have an elite wide receiver core. They got Dakereon Moore leading that charge, and Evan Stewart's coming back this year after not playing at all last year. Also, they have a guy named McClellan who is a very, very elite sophomore going into his second season in college football. He made one great catch in his practice and everybody's hyped about him. I hope he does well, but I also hope he doesn't do well because I'm a Buckeyes fan. But anyways, moving on to the defense, you know what they are. They have guys coming back. Everybody in the D-line came back, and they are elite. They're fast. They're hungry. They said, we want a national championship, and that's the only reason we're back is to get that national championship. So now, let's predict their schedule because I think the Oregon Ducks are going to be very good this year. Week 1, the Oregon Ducks will be going against Boise State. The Boise State Broncos are joining the Pac-12 this year. I don't think they're going to be a threat. They were a threat a couple years ago with Ashton Denty carrying their whole entire team. But Oregon will win this game pretty easily and go 1-0 on week 1. The second week against Oklahoma State in their house, I think the Oklahoma State Cowboys will bring a challenge to this Oregon defense. They're going to be air raiding the hell out of the Oregon defense, and they're going to be like, hey, Oregon, you need to actually play decent football in week 2. But Oklahoma State, I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to guard the Oregon Ducks quarterback or the Oregon Ducks wide receivers. So Oregon will pull out a win here, but it'll be a challenge for their first half on their defense. Week 3, face Portland State. You might as well just write a W in the books for that because this is a game where they just want to build confidence and roll into the season with a 3-0 start. Week 4 at USC. I put this on the upset alert for USC because USC could be very, very good this year. Their recruiting was pretty decent. I'm pretty sure they're number 1 on 3 ratings for recruiting in 2026 and 2027. So USC is on the rise. They got Chris Henry Jr.'s teammate from alma mater, and I think the Oregon Ducks will walk into California here and get a 3-point win, but it will be pretty damn close, and I would not be surprised if Oregon drops this game. Week 5, they have a little bit of a breathing room. They don't play a team, they're off. Week 6, face UCLA. UCLA is not a very good football school anymore. They never really have been, in my lifetime at least, so I think Oregon will win pretty easily. Week 7, face Nebraska. Dylan Raiola might start in the fourth quarter because he's a former Nebraska Cornhusker and decided, oh, I'm a 5-star, but I'm going to go be a backup at Oregon. I think the Oregon Ducks will win this game, and I think Dylan Raiola will actually play a little bit in this game and maybe get like a pass or two in. Week 8 at Illinois. Illinois football is going to be bad next year. They had their best chance to beat good teams last year. They lost their quarterback this year. They lost their best defensive guy this year as well. So Oregon will go into Illinois and probably win by like 10 to 13 points. Week 9 versus Northwestern. Northwestern football is just not anything to brag about. Not anything to hoot and holler about. They haven't really been good in a very, very long time. So Oregon, once again, will bring the W and have 2 wins in a row against Illinois teams. Week 10 at my Buckeyes. Ohio State is going to win this game for the simple facts. It's in Columbus, first of all, and the Buckeyes have a high-powered offense with Jeremiah Smith, with Chris Henry Jr., with a lot of guys who are going to be elite in full strength by the time the Oregon Ducks come into town. I think if you're an Oregon Ducks fan, though, you could be a little confident and cocky about this, that Oregon has really beat up on the Ohio State Buckeyes in the regular season, but you guys have also had your 2 best years in history ruined by the Buckeyes. So don't get too cocky about that. Week 11, faced one of the worst college football schools, and the college football team blew up last year when their head coach got fired. They brought a 17-year-old to start as their quarterback. The Oregon Ducks will beat up on Michigan at their house. And then their last game faced Washington. Washington is pretty solid, but they're not the Oregon Ducks. The Oregon Ducks will win this game, and they'll go 11-1 to finish off the year, and they'll be going into the Big Ten Championship most likely against Ohio State. I feel like the Oregon Ducks are going to have a very solid run, and they have a pretty decent chance to become a national champion in the 2026-2027 season. Let me know if you're an Oregon Ducks fan, and let me know which team I should predict next. Next week will most likely be Penn State and how they could possibly bounce back after a terrible year, and a lot of things have changed in Penn State, so stay tuned for that.